Welcome. This is an overview of this week's top stories expected to keep making headlines in the days to come. A week synonymous to disgrace for humanity. The migrant crisis is questioning the ability of Europe, if not the whole world, to take action timely and efficiently in protection and to aid those in desperate need. The gut-wrenching photo of the 3-year-old boy Aylan on a Turkish shore was a kick to the stomach for everyone. People around the world are demonstrating in any and every way they possibly can, advocating for humane treatment of refugees fleeing war zones. No parent would put their child at such risk in the sea if the ground they stood on was not more dangerous than a trafficker's boat. Aylan, now a symbol of those putting their lives on the line for a chance of a safer future, drowned alongside his 4-year-old brother and his mother. His father, devastated, has returned to the war zone in Syria, stating that he now has nothing to live for. The crisis will be front and center when EU foreign ministers meet at an informal gathering in Luxembourg today. Countries will send their home ministers for emergency talks in Brussels on September 14th. France and Germany have proposed a welcoming mechanism that would be permanent and mandatory in Europe, while the UK is being pressured to take in more refugees. At the same time, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Russian leader Vladimir Putin both point the finger at Europe and the United States on turning the Mediterranean into a cemetery. New season, new age for the energy sector in Cyprus. The discovery of massive reserves in the Zohr field that is situated within the Egyptian EEZ have spurred new hope and reserved optimism on the island as well. Welcoming the ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to Cyprus, President Anastasiadis said that the gas field discovered off Egypt's shore has the potential of not only enhancing existing cooperation between neighboring countries in the energy sector, but also of creating new synergies between them. A few hours before, the president had talked on the phone with his Egyptian counterpart, noting that undoubtedly Zohr is yet another proof of the richness of the Mediterranean Sea in natural resources. Meanwhile, consultations with Cairo to sell Cypriot natural gas are proceeding as usual, Cyprus Energy Minister Yorgos Lakotripis said. Today, the government responded to Noble's $6.5 billion development plan with its own notes. By the end of the month, or at least early October, Lakotripis will receive an official update on the findings of French company Total, whose block neighbors with Zohr. Developments are expected in the near future concerning any next steps as well. President Anastasiadis, while receiving the credentials of the ambassador of the State of Israel to Cyprus, noted that the bilateral relations of Cyprus and Israel in the energy sector are well advanced and on the right track. On a political level, President Anastasiadis underlined that Cyprus is to have an upgraded role due to the natural gas reserves discovered in the eastern Mediterranean, stressing that without Cyprus, gas cannot be directed towards Europe or towards Turkey. He then added that if Turkey pursues its own needs, whether for reasons of its own policies to re-establish relations with Israel and Egypt, then they will have to solve the Cyprus issue. Negotiations to resolve the Cyprus problem resumed this week after a break for summer holidays. The talks focused on the property issues and the co-governments at the meeting of the two community leaders. The UN Secretary-General Special Advisor on Cyprus, Espen Barthede, said after the leaders' meeting that the two leaders reaffirmed their attempt to the common goal of finding a solution for the Cyprus problem. Ede later added that from October, the months ahead will be very decisive as far as efforts to find a solution to the Cyprus problem are concerned. On another level of developments, Foreign Minister Ioannis Kassoulidis said that NATO is not in a position to undertake tasks as a guarantor power in Cyprus without precluding future prospects of cooperation between Cyprus and the alliance. The minister made it clear that the aim of the Greek Cypriot community is the distribution of powers and in no way an assimilation of the Turkish Cypriot community. Referring to property, Kassoulidis said that the two sides have no magic wand to solve the immediate problem. Probably the most tragic aspect of the Cyprus problem is that of the missing persons. This week, bones of 8 different people were found in the occupied area of Drachonas. It is presumed that they belong to 8 different missing persons, both civilians and soldiers. The Greek Cypriot spokesperson of the Committee on Missing Persons, Nestoras Nestoros, said that when the exhumation of the site is completed in about 1 or 2 weeks, scientists will move to another site about 60 meters west of the area they are in now, as more missing persons have been buried there. Specifically, Nestoros said we are looking at 2 specific locations where we believe 40 to 50 people were buried. Another exhumation is underway at Dymphos in Makedonitis in Nicosia, where the Greek plane Nord Atlas fell in 1974. 2 human spinal cords and some personal items of the soldiers on board the plane were found. For security reasons, excavations at the time are being done by the mine-clearing platoon from the 17th Infantry Battalion. The findings are being presented to archaeologists. Cyprus Foreign Minister Ioannis Kassoulidis visited the site on Thursday morning, where he said it is never too late to fulfill a duty. Thank you for watching.